the Sixers making a mistake by not trading Ben Simmons?
I believe they are, and I've stated that for a long time. I think Daryl Morey usually pulls the trigger. Ownership, my belief was they're probably holding him back, knowing them the way that I do. But in the same breath, I've also heard from a lot of people that's not the case. They're not holding Daryl Morey back at all. He's determined to make sure he gets equitable compensation for Ben Simmons, which I believe he could do. I believe he should have done this summer, to be quite honest with you. And I think that Daryl Morey, to some degree, is blowing this. Here's the deal with Ben Simmons. It is a catastrophe what this situation is. It is bad for the NBA. And even though Rich Paul is not at fault because he just has to do what his client insists on doing, there are others that would say agents got to have some control over your clients to some degree because of what's in the best interest of business. The owners are coming for the NBA players. I'm telling you what I know. They're not playing. And the reason why they're not playing is that you can get away with a lot of things, but getting paid for not playing on purpose is something that a lot of people are going to hold you accountable for. Now, we know not to minimize the importance of mental illness. We get all of that. We all understand that. Why I bring it up with cynicism is that we have to understand that there's a lot of people that don't believe Ben Simmons. It's not that they're saying mental illness is not an important thing. They're not trying to minimize the significance or the importance of that in any way. What they're saying is they don't believe he's telling the truth, that the second he got traded, he'd be ready to play, that the same guy that isn't ready to play mentally is fighting them to make sure he gets all his money. That kind of stuff, you're going to pay. And in the end, the last thing I'm going to say is this. The biggest reason they should move. I got Joel Embiid. I'll talk about him with MVP and later on. But Joel Embiid is having a monster year, and it's being wasted. And we all know he ain't the most durable dude in the world. He usually gets hurt. And now that hasn't happened. You're going to waste away a championship opportunity to prove a point. That's where I'm at.
I know a lot of people hear about this championship run that they can make right now, but I think we need to reframe it as like a championship window. Because I know Philly, that's your stomping grounds, right? That's where you have your ear to the ground and you know all the gossip, you know all the tea. So I understand.
Most cities, but I hear what you're saying.
Oh, is that all? Yeah, you're right. That's definitely LA too, okay? That's definitely, we like you here. In Connecticut, I guess maybe there's gossip out there, right, Mo?
There ain't no NBA team out there. We don't care about that. But go ahead.
But when you think of the situation, I understand that the owners are like, we want our players to play because they're making millions. But I do think it has to be put into context that he's already lost out on $19 million. And he's made about 60, so that's about a third of his potential earnings. To me, if you're willing to lose that much money, something might be real in your life. And the city of Philly, like, they're done with the process. Like, they don't want to be patient anymore.
And they should be done.
And I get that. And they have the right, person in charge, Daryl Morey, to make a potential trade. But if he's not making one, and as you mentioned, he's inclined to pull the trigger, maybe there's a reason. The only team that really came up the last 2 weeks as a real potential was the Sacramento Kings. Daryl Morey said that he wanted an all-NBA player in return for Ben Simmons. He probably won't get that.
Right. Not now, because Ben Simmons is hurting his own marketability to get traded.
I think that we knew when Ben Simmons played his final game in Philly that was likely going to be his final game if he had his way, right? Like, his mindset to enter the team again, even though the team was like, oh, we want you back, like, we knew that it was not likely. He was sticking to his guns there.
After the loss to Atlanta.
Exactly. So given that circumstance, now you look, all right, you're not getting an all-NBA player. The player or the players that you can get, the assets, they better be a home run for you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.